It ended 1-1 after 90 plus 5 minutes. At Stamford Bridge, I mean, Chelsea fans expected a win, at least, if not a big win, but a slight win. But unfortunately, we weren't able to get that. Arsenal took the game to us, and it ended in a draw. Arsenal scoring first, followed by Chelsea equalizing in the game. As usual, I have GH Amando in the building, and he doesn't seem excited about the results. No. Neither am I. But let me hear from you. What do you think was our biggest problem? Of the day?
I'm really disappointed, and our biggest problem is coming from Enzo Maresca.
Right, Enzo Maresca.
Yes. I think he's letting us down in these big games. I'm not really impressed. It looks like he respects these so-called big teams. The approach to these games are very low, and I'm not really happy about that. Right. This game should have been at least a slight win for Chelsea.
Right.
I didn't really see much of the boys today. They didn't play as to, we are playing at home. We need to win at all costs.
Right.
So for me, I'm really disappointed in that.
Why are you disappointed in Enzo Maresca?
First of all, his first 11, the choices that he made in the first 11 today, I was really, really disappointed in that. Malo Gusto's role is not working for him. That's one. Noni Madueke needs to sit on the bench. There's no doubt about that. It is clear now that he's not improving. He's not helping the team in any way. So Noni has to go to the bench. Malo Gusto, he has to definitely change that role because he's not. Yes, he can run, he can invert, but he's not productive enough to be playing that role. I think it's not good for him. And it has let the team down for the past few games. Notably again, when are we going to keep using this goalkeeper, Sanchez?
Right.
I'm still disappointed in that goal. He shouldn't have allowed that to go in from his near post. So these few things, I think really didn't go well with me.
But what is actually the challenge? Is it that Enzo Maresca is not seeing what we Chelsea fans are seeing? Because he keeps playing Madueke week in, week out with minimal performance. When we have, and one of the things we've been touting ourselves much about is the squad depth, and we keep having a problem at the right wing, and he seems not to have any options. I don't know what the challenge really is.
At the moment, I think enough is enough for these first teams, team A, team B thing. I think it's enough. If you play better in the current game, you have to start in the next game, regardless of
whether you've played in
the conference league or in the. It has to stop.
Right.
Because I don't really see the difference between starting from the conference league and doing well, and that cannot guarantee you a place in the Premier League team.
Right.
So what's the point? Right. What's the point of allowing them to fight for the first team? So for me, I'm really disappointed in that. Some of these key players we have in this team B, so-called team B, for example, Joao Felix, Nkunku, they have to come in the first team. They have to come and give competition to those there.
Right.
He made it look feels like I'm playing the Premier League. So whatever that I'm doing, I'm still going to play.
Right.
That's what I'm seeing in Noni Madueke. He doesn't try to improve himself. So for me, I think is now getting out of hand, and that has to stop. That team A, team B kind of thing has to stop.
Right, because I think that even in our live watch along, I said that Enzo Maresca is to blame for this particular draw. We didn't see any agency in our play after the first 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Everything went back to die down, and that wasn't how I was expecting us to play. In the midfield, I think Lavia wasn't also as good as we wanted him to be today. I don't know what the problem really was, but we didn't see the Lavia
Yeah.
I mean, we've shouted about in the past couple of games. Do you think the midfield also had, its own issues that made us not to be able to create a lot more chances than we have?
Yes, definitely. Remember, I said this game is going to be a midfield battle,
Right.
and it was only Caicedo
Right.
who was doing everything today. Lavia, yes, as you said, we didn't really see him today,
Right.
and that really didn't bring in the other players to work, especially in the first half and in the beginning of the second half. Like we said during the live watch along, we have to identify our strong
Right.
approach to the games. No matter how we are going to do it, we should do it. We are all certain that Cole Palmer and Pedro Neto are currently our best creative forwards, who can score, who can assist, create anything from nowhere. We have to play to their strength. Let's try as much as possible to play the ball to them. Let them do their work. But we could see somewhere in the game that Cole Palmer will be releasing their hands all the time, but the ball will not come. The same thing applies to Neto when he was playing at the left wing. So we can't possibly, let this kind of games go by. Remember I said that we have that advantage. We could have actually, pressed them because definitely they are still tired from the Champions League struggle they went through against Inter Milan. So and this whole first 11 were rested throughout the week.
Right.
So I'm really disappointed in that kind of performance because I expected a lot from them. Yeah.
Were you expecting early substitutions, or you think that the time for substitutions were actually on point for you?
Absolutely. Like the substitution should have come even way earlier, especially
Right.
we realized that Noni Madueke wasn't there. Malo Gusto wasn't really in the game. So for me, quickly bring on the substitution and let's go. And then I think that could have prevented the goal,
Right.
in a way. But after they scored, now that you have to do the changes, and you saw the importance of those two changes you made.
Right.
After the changes, we saw
an equalizer.
The equalizer. So for me, he has to, be bold enough to be making this kind of decisions. And of course, like I said, Madueke should learn the hard way. He should get back to the drawing board and learn the hard way. Next game, I wouldn't want to see him nowhere near the first 11 in the Premier League.
Right. So at the moment, this draw leaves Chelsea on the third position in the on the standings. At the moment, we have Liverpool on being first with I think
28 points.
28 points.
Yeah.
Man City are second with 23 points.
Yeah.
Chelsea are third with 19 points, and Arsenal are also fourth with 19 points.
Yeah.
Right. So our next game is against Leicester City.
Yeah, Leicester City.
Hopefully, if we win that, it would reflect. But then the competition is very keen because about 4 teams are on the same 19 points, and a single point can make a lot of difference in this game because Chelsea is on 19 points, third. Arsenal 19 points, fourth. Nottingham Forest 19 points, fifth. Brighton is actually 19 points on sixth as well.
Yeah.
So it tells you how competitive the sport Chelsea is occupying is. Hopefully, in our next game, we'll be able to get all 3 points. But then I think I completely agree with you that it looks like Enzo Maresca, the mentality of Enzo Maresca himself meeting these so-called big teams is poor.
Yeah.
Because he tend to feel that a draw is fine.
Okay.
And it was the same thing we did against Liverpool at our home.
Yeah.
And clearly, home grounds are not places where you should be entertaining draws, of such. Especially when, if you watch the game clearly, Arsenal couldn't press us that much. But for the last few minutes that we, allowed them to push us that far. But they weren't on top. They themselves were scared.
Yeah.
So we should have taken the game to them. But you could clearly see that aside from Pedro Neto, chances were not created. We didn't have like chances being created. And big kudos to Pedro Neto.
Yeah.
He's spot on.
Like
Decision making spot on.
absolutely.
The crosses spectacular.
All his crosses.
If we had
were
the same,
dangerous.
efficiency from the right, I think we would have had more chances and more
chances of
probably
scoring.
Cole Palmer getting something.
Yeah.
And some of the other players scoring as well. And as I keep saying, Enzo Maresca should take these little tactical details seriously.
Very serious.
You can't play Gusto when James is fit to play.
I mean,
It doesn't make any sense.
That was really shocking.
Yeah, you
shocking
can't.
decision
And
for me.
Madueke, week in, week out, we complain about Madueke's performance. And this was not what you promised us.
Yeah.
You told us everybody was going to fight for their spot.
for their
But I don't see any why Madueke keeps playing week in, week out when he's not delivering. If he's delivering, nobody can argue about that.
Yeah.
But he's not. And it's not as if it is because he cannot. I think he's not really, I don't know how to put it, but it looks like his personal decision to play how he wants.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's not helping us.
Yeah, I agree.
So you are the coach. You are supposed to make sure he does the right thing, or you'll be held responsible for his bad performance.
Definitely.
So for me, I agree with you 100%. Enzo Maresca is part of the cause of this our defeat, and he has to change his mentality. When we are meeting these so-called big clubs,
yeah.
There's nothing like Nottingham Forest beat Liverpool.
Yeah.
So we can beat, and we drew against Nottingham Forest. We can equally beat Liverpool. We can beat Arsenal. So we need to also start having that, mentality. And mentality is everything in football. If the manager has that kind of mentality, that is the same mentality he'll give to the boys, and they'll go in there. Wishing for a draw.
Yeah.
And for me, I think a draw wasn't enough. The performance wasn't encouraging. To me today, I'll be honest with you, but I just feel that Enzo Maresca should have done his substitutions early.
Yeah.
And that thing you talk about competition, it has to be real.
Very, very
There has to be like that competition in the team.
Yeah, come on.
If there is a player who feels that there's no competition, he will play how he wants. It's just few players who would take that responsibility to always want to perform or deliver. But there are some players who are just lazy. Unless you give them real competition, they will play how they want.
Yeah.
And we have the players. So what is the problem? It's the coach. We can't keep dropping points like this in our home. You think if we go to Arsenal's home, they'll allow you to? No. So we have to take advantage at our home and win games. But overall, I think we can do better. Hopefully, our game against Leicester would be better, and then we will get 3 points, and then we move on.
Yeah.
And as we've clinched onto the top four, we have to be there.
Yeah.
Because if we drop a lot of points and we go back, it will be difficult to climb again, because it is getting tougher by the week, and we just have to make sure we keep up at the top and manage till the end of the season.
Yeah.
Right. Guys, let's know what you think in the comment section as well. It's a 1-1 draw at our home in Stamford Bridge. Let's know your thoughts in the comment section. We'll also be I'll give our predict and win winners. We'll be looking through the winners, and then we would get you in our one of our games, in one of our videos. We'll definitely be coming out with the winners of. I don't want to do it in a haste. We'll take time and look through all the predictors and then see who actually wins. If there's no winner then we would move on to the next game as well. Right. I don't know if you have anything to say.
Well, I think I'll touch on the incident that took Lavia out.
Right.
We have to still know what happened. I'm really hoping it's not an injury.
Serious injury, right?
Yes, that's what we are hoping for.
Right.
But other than that, we could see that Enzo Fernandez also came in.
He wasn't bad at all.
Yeah, he delivered the assist even for the equalizer.
goal,
So for me, these are what we be talking about.
Right.
Give them that competition.
Opportunity, let them play.
And when Enzo came, definitely in his mind, he would try to impress.
Right.
Because he knows his position.
It's not secure.
It's not secured anymore.
Yeah.
So that's what we're looking at for. The same thing has to come from the right side. where Noni Madueke is. Everybody's talking about Noni Madueke.
And
So why
it
is he
seems
not
like
doing it?
Enzo is not listening. I don't get it.
I'm still hoping for that
I don't
kind of
get
competition.
it. But then I think big applause to Fofana today. He was. I think he is my man of the match by far today.
Yeah, but Kukurea
So
too.
Kukurea was also
I think
solid.
he's the official man of the match.
Kukurea,
Yeah.
solid. But I think both of them did very well at the
Very
back.
well.
Solid.
Liverpool
solid.
was
At a point, it was Fofana who was leading the press, the attack.
Yes.
And it clearly tells you that our forward line was poor today.
Yeah.
You know, and big shout outs to our defense. Liverpool didn't have the best of himself today. Picking unnecessary yellow cards here and there and all of them. But hopefully, Enzo Maresca would, re-energize and, regroup and then come back stronger in our game against Leicester City. And then we definitely get a win from that particular one. But then, by far, it's not bad. We find ourselves in a very good position, third. Yeah. Fortunately, because the team following us was the team we played against, and we all shared points. So they didn't really get ahead of us. So hopefully in our next game, things will definitely get better. Right, guys, thank you for watching. And those of you who joined us in our live watch along, we appreciate you. Those of you who called in, we appreciate every single one of you for your contributions as well. Don't forget, we have a Telegram channel, Chelsea Tribe Africa. Check it out on Telegram and subscribe to the channel. We put up a lot of Chelsea news on that channel as well. Right, I'll probably put a link in the description for you to subscribe to the Telegram channel. And let's hear what you think as well about the game and the players, what happened today in the comment section. And we'll see you in the next one. Peace out. We out.